The first thing Daniel noticed about the woman was that she tipped in exact change. Not generous, not stingy. Exact. It was odd enough to stick in his mind, even after a 12-hour shift on his feet. She sat alone by the window every Thursday night, always after 9, when the restaurant quieted down and the clatter softened into background noise. No phone. No companions. Just a glass of water, black coffee, and whatever the cheapest meal on the menu happened to be. Daniel knew cheap meals well. He lived on them. As a waiter and a single dad, his life was measured in school pickup times, overdue bills, and the price of milk creeping up every month. He worked nights because they paid a little better, and because his neighbor could watch his 6-year-old son, Leo, while he was gone. That Thursday, she looked different. Tired in a way Daniel recognized. The kind that did not come from lack of sleep but from carrying too much alone. "Long day?" he asked casually as he set her plate down. She looked up, startled, then smiled. It was a real smile. Soft. Grateful. "Long life," she said. "But yes. Long day." Daniel laughed before he could stop himself. "I know the feeling." She studied him for a moment, then glanced at his name tag. Daniel. Do you ever wish you could just escape it all? Even for one reckless minute? He thought of Leo's crooked grin, his obsession with dinosaurs, the way he fell asleep with one hand curled in Daniel's shirt. Reckless minutes were a luxury he no longer owned. "All the time," he said. "But then I remember who I have waiting at home." Her expression shifted, something unreadable passing through her eyes. "You're a father." "Single dad," he replied. "Best job I ever had. Worst paying too." That made her laugh. A real laugh this time, bright enough to turn a few heads. Then, out of nowhere, she said it. "Marry me." Daniel froze, certain he had misheard. "I'm sorry," he asked. She leaned back in her chair, eyes sparkling with mischief and something deeper. "Marry me. Just say yes. No consequences. No paperwork. Just words in the air." Daniel glanced around, half expecting cameras or drunk friends. There were none. "Well," he said slowly, playing along, "I don't even know your name." She shrugged. "Does it matter?" "In my experience, yes." She smiled. "Then call me Claire." Daniel shook his head, amused. "All right, Claire." "Yes. I accept." She exhaled, like someone who had been holding her breath for years. "Thank you," she said quietly. He walked away thinking it was just a strange, harmless moment. Something he would forget by morning. He was wrong. The next week, Claire returned. Same seat. Same meal. But this time, she asked about Leo. Then about Daniel's dreams. He told her about the small apartment, the night terrors Leo had after his mother passed, the guilt he carried for never feeling like enough. She listened. Really listened. No pity. No interruptions. Over the next month, their conversations grew longer. Claire never spoke about her work beyond saying she ran a company. Daniel assumed middle management at best. She dressed simply, drove nothing flashy, and never mentioned money. One night, Leo's babysitter canceled last minute. Daniel almost called in sick, but rent was due. On impulse, he brought Leo to the restaurant, tucked him into a corner booth with crayons and fries. Claire arrived, saw Leo, and her face softened in a way that made Daniel's chest ache. "Is this him?" she asked. Leo looked up. "Are you the lady my dad talks about?" Daniel nearly dropped a tray. Claire laughed and crouched down to Leo's level. "Am I?" "He says you're sad but nice." Something shimmered in Claire's eyes. She reached out her hand. "I'm Claire. I'm Leo. I like dinosaurs and pancakes." Excellent taste, she said. That night, Claire stayed until closing, helping Leo color, listening to his endless facts. When they walked out together, she did not go to a car. A black vehicle pulled up, and a driver stepped out. Daniel stiffened. "Oh. I didn't realize you had a driver." Claire hesitated. Then sighed. "Daniel, there's something I should tell you." The truth came out in pieces. Her real name was Clara Hayes. CEO of Hayes Global. The richest woman in the country. The headlines Daniel vaguely remembered about a reclusive billionaire suddenly made sense. "I didn't lie to trick you," she said quickly. "I just wanted one place where no one wanted anything from me." Daniel felt the ground shift beneath him. Embarrassment burned his cheeks. He thought of the joke proposal, the way he had said yes without a second thought. "I'm just a waiter," he said quietly. "With a kid. And debts. And no safety net." Claire nodded. "I know. That's why I asked you." He looked at her, confused. "You didn't see me as a balance sheet," she continued. "You saw me as a tired person having a long life." Silence stretched between them. "I don't need your money," Daniel said finally. "And I won't be someone's charity." Claire smiled, eyes shining. "I don't want that either. I want a partner. Someone who knows love without contracts." Weeks passed. Slowly. Carefully. Claire showed up to Leo's school play, sitting in the back, clapping the loudest. Daniel let himself believe. One evening, standing in Daniel's tiny kitchen, Claire spoke again. "I wasn't joking that night," she said. "I just didn't know how to ask without being afraid." Daniel looked at Leo, asleep on the couch, then back at her. "This time," he said, voice steady, "I'm not joking either." She smiled through tears. And this time, when he said yes, he knew exactly who she was. Not the richest CEO. But the woman who saw him first.